Hello, everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys a first-person replay commentary. This is of the game that I uploaded yesterday, the Riki game. I just wanted to take the time to talk about Riki and tell you about how good he is, and basically what I found out from playing like 3 games of him yesterday. And also in Captain's Draft today, that's again the Captain's Draft tournament that we're doing on the Moonduck TV channel. One of the teams picked Riki today, so I have that to influence my thoughts on the year as well. So, let us hop into the Dota buff section. First off, Riki is a very popular hero in all pubs. He's actually 30th popularity, which is surprising to me because he's very low picked at low MMR, at very high MMR, so I almost never see him ever. And right now my thoughts of him are that he's okay, but there's just generally better heroes. At least that's for a carry position. I wouldn't say he's a good offlane hero. He definitely does need some farm to be useful, and he needs at least like 3k of net worth, I would say. Maybe 2k, 2 to 3k of net worth before he can actually move around the map and be really dangerous in terms of ganking. So maybe a dual offlane setup into a roaming hero is how you play him correctly, but we'll just go over everything. So he had a bit of a remake. His backstab, aka when he attacks people from behind, he gets bonus damage based on his agility. So by an agility items when you're attacking people in the back are very effective to do that. So it's now combined into Cloak and Dagger, his passive. It makes him go invisible for a fade delay of 6 to 3 seconds, but he also gets a bonus agi damage from 0.5 to 1.25. So for every point of agility you get, you actually get 1.25 extra damage when you hit somebody in the back. So you're getting extra value out of agility items, which naturally makes agility items very good. You also have Blink Strike. This is the old Blink Strike. Basically, it goes down to a 4-second cooldown. It does magic damage as you blink to somebody. It's no longer his ultimate. He's still got Smokescreen, which applies a miss rate and a movement speed slow, and has a fairly big AoE, scales up to 325. That's the best reason to max the skill out. And also he has his ultimate now, which is brand new. It gives him decent team fight. It's called Tricks of the Trade. You basically cast it, and after it casts, it does have a cast animation of 0.4 seconds, which is actually very long. I had a lot of issues with this casting it when I thought it would go off. I didn't realize it was so long, but 0.4 seconds is massive in terms of a cast time. Most cast times are lower, like, I don't know, 0.2 or something like that. Very low. But if you cast this, it makes you invulnerable, and then it makes a big AoE, and over that up to 6 seconds, you will attack everybody in the back that's in the AoE. But the problem is that it's not like an AoE that you cast, it's an AoE where you're standing. So it's better if you blink aggressively and then cast it than it is for when you just cast it when things get a little dangerous, because a lot of times that I would use it personally, people would be running out of the AoE. You don't really slow anybody unless you have an Orb of Venom or a Sanjinyasha or a Scotty or something while you're doing it. So if you cast it in a bad area, you don't get a lot of value out of it. It's best with teamfight disables that come from your allies like Black Hole, Ravage, Chronosphere, things like that. It's really, really good with that. If we look at win rates, looks like pub players play him offlane and safe lane right now with pretty similar win rates. I don't like him massively in the offlane. I think if you're going to play an offlane roaming invis hero, I think Bounty is a bit better, personally. If we look at his skill build, this is actually pretty much exactly the same what I do, except I usually do Smoke Cloud at level 2 because it does silence your opponents and gives you some survivability there. In terms of items, Power Treads is very good because you attack faster, which gives you the limited time that you're attacking somebody under Smoke Cloud. It makes you kill them more rapidly, so I don't like Phase over Power Treads. I think Power Treads is better. And in terms of Sanjinyasha, it's a great item, but usually you should go Diffusal Blade first. And it's important because the item's very cheap, and also because it protects you against dust. You can Diffusal Blade the dust off yourself, and if you're against a Riki or a Slardar, you can remove those debuffs as well to prevent yourself from being seen. But also just because as you're initiating on somebody, you hit them, use Diffusal Blade, use Smokescreen, and then they're slowed extremely, and they can't cast spells, and you usually just kill them during the Smokescreen is your goal. Poor Man's Shield is also a really good item. You pick that up at the beginning of the laning stage because it gives you 6 agility, which is essentially giving you double damage more or less. When you have double damage for its value of 6 agility, it's kind of like giving you 12 damage instead of 6. Battle Fury is popular, but I don't recommend this at all. This makes sense against bad players, but this build is only good when the ultimate used to hit illusions. It doesn't hit illusions anymore, so Battle Fury is not good because it's not gonna like give you a massive amount of damage. The only time I would get Battle Fury is probably against a Meepo, would be the only case because that should hit all of them. Abyssal Blade is an option. A lot of these are just bad. Don't look at these. It's mostly bad. I would say your options are basically Diffusal Blade, Sanjin Yasha, BKB, Skull Bash is okay, but you can't bash everybody. Once you bash one person, it goes on cooldown. Maybe there's some value in something like a Maelstrom, maybe, so you could lightning multiple people, but I'm not 100% sold on that. Maybe something like a Mjolnir is a possibility, but again, then you're getting away from having agility items. So I would say Diffusal Blade, Sanjin Yasha, BKB, Scotty, Butterfly. Those are your possible items that you should be buying, I think, most likely. In the early game, I really think Aquila is important because you have a lot more spells to cast now, because you've got Blink Strike now. In the early game, you've also got Smokescreen, and your ultimate also costs mana. So the int gain on Riki is really, really, really bad. One of the worst in the game. So you need some kind of mana regen or int-based plus item. Your agility gain is mediocre at best, and your strength gain is really bad. So your HP is really bad as a whole, although your base agility is really high. Movement speed is terrible at 290. Vision range is fine. Your armor is really good, and your base damage is quite bad. So heroes that you're good against: Medusa, because you get Diffusal Blade, you can drain her mana. Undyne, probably because you can just kill him without him casting spells. Witch Doctor, same thing. A lot of these heroes are just very weak to silences for obvious reason. But not massively. He doesn't have huge advantages. Heroes that you're actually good against. I was surprised to see Bounty Hunter on here, but that's probably because you can initiate on Bounty Hunter, you can silence him, and if he tracks you, you can remove it with a Diffusal Blade. A lot of these other heroes that you're bad against, Techies, you just kind of die to it. Razor's hard to kill. Naga Siren can generally get out of your smoke without dying, and then Song to escape. And she can also net you, which means you can't go invis. Bloodseeker, when you're low, he can see you. Oh, I'm sorry, you are bad against Bounty Hunter. This isn't an advantage to Riki, I'm sorry. That was a huge mistake by me. But it's not a terrible disadvantage. 2.85 is winnable here. Very common that somebody picks Riki, the other team will pick Bounty or Inslar. Almost every Riki game I played, that was the case. Phantom Assassin can probably just kill you, gets an MKB, and then fights you. And you also can't hit her in the back, so it's hard for you to deal with killing a PA in the early game. Bristleback, same thing. If you hit his back, he takes less damage, so your backstab is actually not that good. And Broodmother is just almost impossible for a Riki to kill. She's more likely to punish a Riki than you are to punish her, so that makes sense. So that's all the basic stats. The hero meta statistics I think are very interesting, so we will go find Riki. At the lowest MMR, he has about a 52% win rate, and at the highest MMR, he has a 48% win rate, so he's actually not very good at the highest level. I think he's actually a bit weak there. To look at some of the other top heroes right now, Death Prophet, for example, down here at the bottom, is actually only at about 50.5%, so maybe strong but not OP. Could take a look at some other heroes. Chen is at 58.49. Wow, he has a massive advantage right now. Even Io's quite high at 52%, so there's actually a lot of heroes that are looking to be still pretty strong. Lone Druid's at 52, perhaps a little overbuff. Morphling at 48. Lycan's at 55. Lycan very strong right now, apparently. 48% Enigma, 53% on Warlock. At pretty much all MMRs, Warlock very high. So I think it's safe to say that Riki is just a little bad right now. He's better, but he's a little bit bad. Faceless Void, 52%. Definitely one of the heroes. What about Enchantress? That's the hero that I want to see. Must have missed her. Enchant. She has a 51% at the highest level. She's really annoying to play against if you don't have the right heroes. And if we take a look at my heroes, and we find Riki, I have a 52% win rate, only 21 games. Not very many games. Oops. Okay, so that's Riki. Oops, I have to close this first. Now again, we're busy casting a lot of Captain's Draft. It's going on every day. If you guys want to see me casting a Captain's Draft tournament with pro players, then you can tune into twitch.tv/moonducktv. It starts at EU time, so for Pacific time, I'm starting about 8 a.m. every time that I cover it. So you can, if you guys want to watch the VODs of the games you've already missed, you can either go to youtube.com/moonducktv, or you can go to youtube.com/DotaCinema for the VODs. Either place has them. You guys can watch them either. I do not care which one you watch. This is a game playing with a bunch of Moonduckers. Veggie esports people. We played, this is an EU player, this is Malk, this is Capitalist, and this is Merlini. So we did a duel offlane with, I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to turn my audio thing off. There we go, free cam, oops, I don't want that. Did a duel offlane with Enchant and or Chen and Riki, I believe. So not too weird. One cool thing about Riki is that when you use items, you don't break your invis anymore. In the past, when you would tread switch, for example, Riki would. reveal his invis. When you do phase boots, he would reveal that he's invis. You can place observer wards while you're invis and all that stuff. But main goal here was to block the small camp, just because if Chen's playing aggressively, I don't want to block a large camp. Now, occasionally hitting somebody in the back like that is really beneficial to do, just because you're doing a lot more damage to them than they're doing to you, since I'm getting 0.5 extra damage from the agility. So if I backstab somebody here, I'm actually hitting for about 55 on average, so it's a little bit higher than most people.
This one's gonna be a scorcher.
Kind of just tracking where they are. If you're playing Riki, it's very smart to click on enemy heroes, that way you can see what items they're holding. And mostly I'm checking to see if they have dust, if they have sentries, things like that. So if you're playing either Riki or Bounty, you have to be very sensitive to those kinds of things. So with an offlane Chen, we should be able to win this lane, because Chen is not only one of the strongest heroes right now, but creeps are stronger than heroes are at level 1 in most cases. Whenever I get last hits, I kind of have to run away because I can't go invis for another 6 seconds, and trading hits at this stage is the best thing that Omni Knight can do. It's very clear that they have a sentry ward placed down, so I will now back down, I will eat trees, and where possible, I will be happy to hit Omni Knight. Unfortunately, I only hit him in the face, so he probably traded better than me in that small moment there of 2 hits. This is quite bad. A lot of damage there. But zoning them is gonna work nicely. The fact that we got a Satyr is really good, because his nuke does a lot of damage right now. And me, I'll just focus on last hitting. Now again, they recently changed Riki so that you get bonus damage when you hit people in the back, and creeps included, even denying. So Riki's actually pretty good at laning if you're in a typical lane setup. So if you are last hitting, make sure that you aim for the back, it works a lot better. Again, I usually get Smoke Cloud at level 2 because I don't want to... I would prefer not dying, basically. And I just got a little bit of harass in there on them. Harassing is the most important thing we can do at this stage.
Healing and harm.
Goodness. Excuse me. Oh, maybe one more? No, I think I'm okay. Okay, so starting items, I got a Stout Shield, I got 2 sets of regen, and I got a Ring of Protection. One thing I didn't mention in the Dota buff segment is that it's really important that you have a lot of regen on Riki, and that's because you don't get regen from being invis anymore. I did a Blink Strike there because I wanted to deny his Clarity Potion, and the Blink Strike did break it. It did 20 magic damage, which is apparently enough there. I didn't even have to right-click him, and I was able to harass him. So broke his Clarity, which means more limited mana. And the Tornado's helping a lot here, of course. Zoning those heroes out lets me get more free farm. Orb of Venom is usually one of the first items you buy. If you're low on mana or you're using spells a lot, I recommend buying a Ring of Basilius first before getting the Orb of Venom. But your first couple items should be Brown Boots, Stout Shield, Ring of Basilius, Orb of Venom, and sometimes you might want a Poor Man's Shield before you get any of those as well. But me personally, I think the Basilius is just super important. The way that Basilius works is it gives you a flat mana increase of 0.65 per second. So that means that if my mana is... I'm basically trying to compare Sage's Mask to Ring of Basilius. Ring of Basilius is about 500 gold. In fact, it is exactly 500 gold now. So if a Ring of Basilius is 500 gold, and I'm only getting 0.6 mana per second, if I get a Ring of Basilius, I'm increasing my mana regen by basically 100%. So having a Ring of Basilius, if your int is lower than 33, means that it gives you more regen than a Sage's Mask does. So that's basically how it works. So for example, getting a Basilius right now gives me more mana than buying a Voidstone would. A frickin' Voidstone, an item that gives me 100% mana regen. So if you have really, really low int, Aquila is a really good item to have. And that goes for a lot of agility heroes and a lot of strength heroes, if their int is very low. So below 33 int means that Basilius is super value. If your int is above that, Sage's Mask gives you more mana. But in a lot of cases, those heroes will still go Basilius due to needing the armor and maybe the damage as well. So, Wildkin's been tossed over here. They're going to cry when they see the next tornado. One solution to the HP regen problem that Riki has now is that you might go for something like Lifesteal, but in the couple games that I played, I felt that's a little bad. I didn't feel super confident with it. Just gonna do some light harass here over on the Tiny, and then we changed targets to the Omni Knight when he got a little out of position. And that basically just screwed him because The blink strike there felt really good. On me I felt like I was pressuring the other guy, and then I could just focus on the true threat of a TP coming down here. This is kind of nice, just did some easy right clicking. And then you can blink strike to regular creeps, by the way. And now my mana's empty, but again the Basilius should be healing me back up. I'm going to be able to pick up fast treads. Normally I will grab a poor man's shield if the lane is more even, but due to the harass that the Chen's been providing, don't really need that. I don't need an item that's going to give me lane control. We kind of just have a one lane here. Being able to pressure them and giving me a triple kill this early. So I do like maxing out the passive first. I think it's the best move to do. I am not the Z-Freak, the player on Complexity, played Riki today, and he went for more of like a 1-3-3 build, and I actually don't like that. I think that the mana pool of Riki in the early game is a little bit too limited to afford that many levels of Blink Strike. Again, as you use more Blink Strikes, it costs more mana to cast it more often, right? I mean, technically Z-Freak gets more value out of his Blink Strike than I do, because for his mana, he's doing more harass. But every right click that I do gives far more damage than his does, so I kind of feel like that offsets it a bit. If we think about the math difference, basically every extra point is what, 0.25 of your agility, which is a fourth. So basically, that's like, you know, if I have 60 agility right now, I don't have a lot of agility, just a little bit here. If I have 60 agility, that's like 15 damage or something like that. I'm getting 15 extra damage for every point of Cloak and Dagger when I hit somebody in the back. And that's pretty significant. Whereas every point of Blink Strike gives you an extra 20 magic damage every time you cast it. And yes, sometimes the lower cooldown is really, really beneficial. But as a whole, I feel like just having as much damage as possible and the lower cooldown on going Invis is the most important thing you can do for Riki in the early laning stage. So these are basically your starting items. You can do an Aquila here. Maybe if you really need some lifesteal, you can get some lifesteal, but I'm not a fan of the festival ads. You're spending 2,400 gold to have some lane sustain, and you can kind of get around it just by having somebody that has a mech, or maybe having a dazzle in the game, or maybe buying a set of tangos once in a while. If you're having trouble in your lane and you're getting screwed that way, I think that's a problem that shouldn't be solved by lifesteal. That's a problem that should be solved by having a better lane, and that can be solved by just having a better carry. So I'm just doing a little bit of harass here on the Lina. So that's me using my ultimate here. I have gone invisible afterwards, and at this stage it's probably just safe to run. Tried pretty hard to kill the Lina, but as you can see, she's a decent counter. She did a lot of damage to me. So I don't know if I bought my Wraith Band here or not. We will see. Can't remember. Okay, I did buy an Aquila. Again, Aquila is a really good damage item on Riki, because it gives me 6 agility, 9 agility. Gives you 9?
Middle tower is under attack.
I did not know that. So I didn't know that it gave you extra benefit. I thought it was just literally the 2 items put together. It does give you 9 agility. This item's really good on Riki. It basically takes a Wraith Band and makes it better, and also gives you more damage overall. It gives you an extra... Well, actually the damage is the same as a Wraith Band plus a Basilius. But either way, it gives you a lot of generic things that Riki needs here. Found a Lina. She missed her stun. I missed my Smoke Cloud, but it was fine. But this is really good. 9 damage, 9 agility, that's 18 damage. Plus it's 9 agility, which is multiplied by 1.25, which is probably like an extra 12 damage. So basically this item gives you like 30 damage or something like that. Low 30s of damage. For a 1,000 gold item, that's really, really, really good. So Aquila is pretty much a must-have on Riki in my opinion. With that said, that extra value is just really amazing. Also, the int doesn't hurt. 3 int is enough to give you 36 mana. That could be enough for a Blink Strike. It gives you an extra 39 HP. So, yeah, Aquila is great. This is basically your early core on Riki. Maybe get a Magic Stick. I think a Magic Stick or a Magic Wand could definitely be justified, but you buy a lot of small items like Poor Man's Shield, Aquila, Orb of Venom, so it may not be the right thing to get. I'm kind of waiting around to see if a hero comes. I don't really want to attack the creeps either, because if you're the only thing around, the creeps attack you, and then you don't get bonus damage. So you can actually push very fast, as you can see. I can 2-shot a range creep. This is one way that you can pressure lanes as a Riki Maru. I decided to move away instantly because of the TP. It could mean that I'm getting ganked again. Because a bounty hunter and a slaughter in the game. Slaughter's 7, so he does have his ult. Bounty does not. He's only level 4. So we're pretty safe. But we did random this game. We did 5 randoms on our team, and they all picked their heroes. So if you're wondering why our lineup is really weird, that's why. If I had more Blink Strike levels, I maybe could kill Slar there, perhaps. But it's kind of hard to say. Now I've been dusted, and I've been ultied. Dust basically permanently slows me until I attack. So actually attacking something and being visible would be better for me. I also decided to grab 2 levels of Smoke Cloud here rather than Blink Strike. This could be seen as a mistake. But generally I find that my positioning of my clouds are bad, my smoke screens. So I like having a bigger AoE. I feel like that's really beneficial. But I don't know, maybe Blink Strike is better. It's hard to say. I probably should be maxing. I probably should be going 144, but sometimes I do like more smoke screens. So I have to bring myself a salve because I'm clearly not full on HP and it would take forever. I guess that's one benefit to the hero is that your HP is so low that you actually heal a pretty large fraction of your survivability total. But it's great to split push. Bringing myself a salve and a Blade of Alacrity. Again, any agility item that you can get is going to massively increase your damage, so don't be afraid to just bring out a Blade of Alacrity and get that bonus agility. I think it's completely worth it. If you're not ganking, this is a really good way to farm. Just go to a lane where you don't think anyone is at, and then just kill creeps super rapidly. I also don't have a teleport scroll here. Probably should. I think I should have probably sent the courier to the side shop, perhaps. But this is one of the things I hate about Riki the most. I just feel so slow all the time. 335 movement speed. I saw a period of time where Z-Freak was in the same situation. He was just walking after people but not doing very much. I'll try to see if I can clean up somebody on the back line, but my hero is just so slow.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Look at that damage, man.
All wands will break.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Little Smoke Cloud to prevent the heal or the repel or anything. I was hitting for 140 on the back there. That's pretty amazing for 11 minutes. Started off the game quite well, 5 kills. When you're playing Riki, you should focus more on getting kills and snowballing if possible. It definitely helps. You can maybe criticize me for showing here on the creeps, but the problem is that I don't really have a way to farm that isn't in lane. You can't really neutral, because if you're neutraling, then the creeps turn and attack you, and then you're not getting as much damage, which means you're not neutraling very fast. The only way that Riki really farms fast in the early game is on neutral creeps. I considered, one game I tried going Vlad's and it kind of worked, but then you still don't kill neutral creeps that fast. The next game I tried Mask of Madness and I felt like that worked pretty well, but I was losing that game really bad. So I don't know if the Mask of Madness build is the right one. Right now I'm not a huge fan of it just because you're already so low HP right now. You have to get a Diffusal Blade early if you're against these kind of heroes. If I wasn't against these kinds of heroes, I think I could definitely justify getting an S and Y first. Increases your HP. When you use Tricks of the Trade, aka the ultimate, you could Sanjin Yasha proc on everybody, which is a massive advantage. If you can get that working for you. I think the Chen got a lot of position here. The enemy team definitely 5-manned a lot here, so I was kind of forced into split pushing a lot in the early game, I felt.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think I really should just max out Blink Strike. Like, each point of smokescreen does such a small increase in terms of AoE. By the time the 4th AoE is there, it's very nice. But the extra levels, I just don't know if they're worth it. If you ever want to dodge projectiles, by the way, you need to leave the sentry vision range. Something you may need to know. It's like there might be a fight mid, but it doesn't quite look like it.
Middle tower
They get the tower, I continue to get last hits. Not an amazing trade for us, but we didn't really feel like we could fight at this point. And we were able to catch the Enchantress as well. They had very, very good anti-enchant heroes. Purification's really good, Lena's really good, Slardar Tiny, all really good. They had very good anti-enchant heroes. We definitely didn't have what I would call a good draft. don't feel super comfortable on this catapult because I didn't know where Bounty was, but then Bounty showed at mid, so now I feel comfortable farming again. I attacked too late. Almost all their people are mid, it seems. Grabbed a second level of my ultimate. You can maybe argue that you don't need to do this. I also got another smoke screen. Looking at it now, I think this is a big mistake. Because getting the 4-second on Blink Strike is really needed for being able to chase more in fights. But also I'm not helping my mana problem by putting points in the smoke screen because it costs more than. At this stage I kind of felt like it was time to fight. So I'm shifting over. I think we were afraid of them shifting to the Roche area as well.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
Very close to the Feasible Blade here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I had a really bad smoke screen. Oh, that actually messed us up big time. Oh, no, it was okay. I tried to ulti right there, and then I just kind of died. Again, it's such a long cast time, it's 0.4 seconds. If I would ulti, that fight would have been a lot different, I think. So I think I messed up pretty bad there. That was really close. So overall, that fight was pretty bad for us. We got Omni and Slardar, I believe. Yeah, it was a really big gold advantage to them. Also, they got track out of that, so tons of advantage. If I would have casted my ulti, I think we would have been okay. Might have gotten a more advantage, but it was nighttime. I didn't see the Lina coming. Should have anticipated it. That's kind of stuff you have to be worried about. And my net worth is like so high here. I'm the highest net worth in the game, and I still have 864 HP, you know? Like, that's the issue with Riki. Like, his lower strength gain now buffed out the fact that his ultimate, that he has an ultimate that's maybe not good, but useful. And then now he's at a point where he's just still very easy to burst. And that was the biggest weakness that I found in the hero. Just he's very, very easy to burst. So I was asking for a gank. I told Merlin to come over and attack. He did stun me here, but not a big deal. His sprint was just ending, so it's a very easy kill. And he used his stun offensively, so super easy kill. Now I'm going to push lane out if I can. I did use my Diffusal Blade charge, maybe didn't need to. Probably should have saved it, considering how the game went. This little creep blasted everything in mine, that was great. And now I'm going to queue up a Manta Style. I like getting Manta Style immediately afterwards because it's a second way to remove detection from you.
Radiant's middle tower is
it also gives you movement speed, that's very nice. If I wasn't against a Slark, or a Slar and a Bounty Hunter, I would get S and Y instead every single time. I could also consider getting a BKB. We had a guy disconnect and he actually never came back, unfortunately. He was a friend, but apparently he wrote in chat, he said that he didn't have electricity, so he lost electricity. I'm not sure where he lives, but that sucks, man. So they're pushing mid on us.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Trying to figure out what to do. We didn't really feel super comfortable fighting at this point, especially with Cap dying like this. Unfortunately, the bounty was looking for him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Did a little bit of slow pushing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So when you're in a situation like this, and the enemy team is 5-manning, and you don't feel like you can fight, the best thing to do is to split push, basically. Yeah, we were super favored. We had like 300 average MMR against these guys. So it's very important that you split push in times like these. The problem is that Riki can't kill buildings that fast. You're only good against like killing creeps. I can kill creeps pretty darn fast, but I can't kill buildings very rapidly, and that's the issue. So I can like come down here and hit. It helps to have a Vlad's here a lot. The Aquila is also useful, and luckily we were able to get the tower. So we did get some advantage out of that. But whether or not I go back is it's an arguable question. To be a little bit careful about last sitting here. looks like some crap's going on. So I'm gonna TP to the outside, look for an initiation.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I had to double defusal in there. Tried to tricks of the trade and got stunned and I died. And I was like, yo, it's really hard to ulti apparently. We lost Chen as well, so it was not a good team fight. And I had to buy back there because we were going to lose facts if I didn't. And I felt okay with that considering my net worth was way ahead of my opponents. We did get a... Did we kill Slaughter there? We actually didn't. So I died, but that's okay. Buybacks this early into the game are not bad. It's only like 500 gold. That's completely worth it in a lot of cases. Used a Diffusal Blade. Probably didn't need to, but I didn't know if there would be a slow. And again, I regret doing that, because instantly I went from like 7 charges down to 4. And if you're against an Omni-Knight, and you're against a Bounty Hunter, and you're against a Slardar, that's 3 reasons to use your Diffusal Blade in defensive purposes. So, I mean, obviously offensive versus Repel and Guardian Angel and all that stuff, but damn, do you need Diffusal Blade. I really wanted to go for this kill. Very clearly they had a Sentry Ward in lane. But the issue is that them having a ward, well, it died just there, so then I knew that it was no longer there. But it's very scary to be a Riki at nighttime. If Bounty Hunter is mid and Lina is there too, I just kind of die. If Slaughter is there and Lina is there, Slaughter plus anybody is there, I pretty much die. My HP is only 1000, so I tried to stand strength a bit more. You could argue that I should just buy BKB instantly, and thinking back on it, I probably should have. But I did go for at least the Yasha first. I felt very slow, so I felt like I needed that movement speed. In the meantime, we're looking for kills. See if we can find some heroes. Don't know where they are. It's kind of a dangerous place to gank though, because they can TP to the tier 1 or the tier 2 and be in front of us. But luckily, since we got the tier 2, the 2 towers bottom,
tower is under attack.
we're a little bit better off. And we saw the heroes bottom, so instead I say, well, I could TP bottom and farm, but I can't because I don't have a TP. Or what I can do is send Chen down there to get experience, and I'll split push mid, which ended up being the goal. We called out the fact that they were running top, but I don't think Ben heard or saw. So he ended up getting killed, which is unfortunate. But we can at least split push mid. Also, there's some dive going on top, but I, again, don't have a TP scroll.
Tower is under attack.
Probably should have one.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We traded towers with them pretty easily. I was happy with the tower trading.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So that'll be my Yasha. I also got a Sentry. I don't remember why. I think I was anticipating an Observer Ward in a certain place. Kind of want to kill that guy, but... So another cool thing you can do, you can Diffusal your ally. He's dusted and tracked, so I removed it with Diffusal Blade. I don't think he realized though. He popped his wand to heal, and I completely whiffed on him. And then I used Diffusal Blade for no reason. I just wasted so many Diffusals. And now I felt kind of dangerous. I don't think I Diffusal Bladed here, because now I was basically like, I have really used way too many Diffusal Blades.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is
and this is a stage where Chen got unabandoned. So we were playing 4v5 at this point. Now I'm moving to the top, but they know that I'm coming because I am tracked.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I remove it. Drop the cloak and got ulti without getting my ult back.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So now I'm out of Diffusal Blades, which sucks. And I'm basically like, okay, well, I apparently need more charges. I think I really messed up on charges. I'm way too liberal with charges. In a game like this, I don't think I could be. I was microing the channel a little bit. Just trying to push lanes and farm. Any farm that somebody that's abandoned gets, by the way, gives your team farm. So it splits 4 ways. So if you do have somebody that abandons, generally it's best to sell their items except for their boots, I would say. Leave their boots, that way they can still kind of use their hero a little bit to farm. See, I thought I saw an Observer Ward up there, so that's why I put the Sentry down. I didn't catch it, so I put it back. But again, the biggest thing that's hurting me this game is that I'm just not getting my ultimates off. I'm not anticipating when I'm about to die from Alina, basically. And all of a sudden it comes and I die and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Hey, that sucks. I don't know what he's saying.
Dire's bottom tower is
I mismicroed the Chen, and he ended up dying there.
Dire's
It's my fault. And bringing in Diffusal Blade 2 now.
Dire's bottom tower
Going
is
to,
under attack.
split
Dire's
push.
structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under Dire's bottom tower. Dire's bottom tower.
Alright, so Diffusal Blade 2. This gives me 35 agility. Drains the same mana though.
Top tower has fallen.
I got Craigie, but I did get my ulti off. Unfortunately, they had Guardian Angel, but it actually does quite good damage here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You know, what I probably should have done there is Diffusal Blade myself again.
Monster kill.
So I think the Lina only could see me due to the fact that I was tracked. If I would have just Diffusaled, I might have been able to live there. Either way, it was a pretty good defense. And now I'm basically like, okay, I really need BKB. If I had BKB, I could jump on somebody and not have the cloud to stay alive. I could actually just jump in and fight somebody until for 10 seconds. I think that would be a really good advantage. They did a gank down here. That one scared the shit out of me. Good fight, and my Diffusal Blade's all gone. So that kind of sucks. If we look at the fight recap, we got a lot from that fight. We got about 500, about 1200 for enchant. I used 3 Diffusal Blade charges there. Yeah, that was scary.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Alright, finally I was like, alright, I really need to carry 2 pieces. It's ridiculous.
Radiant's bottom tower has
They
fallen.
chose to go for the clinks.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Do so much damage to range creeps. It's like all their life. Got a lot from the last couple of fights. I think just my agility is quite high now. Movement speed's 361, so that means I'm getting like 5, 15, 26 movement speed from Yasha. It's not amazing. Alright, we definitely saw that ward go down, so put a sentry down easy. See, I'm playing like carry essentially, and I still blast sentries. It's good to
Radiant's
do sometimes.
top tower
I'm trying to
is
finish my
under attack.
BKB. Why did I run back there? I should have gone straight to farming. Okay, he was already really right by the time the dust went off. God damn, I hate people that spam Twitch memes to communicate.
Invisibility.
Yeah,
I just reward.
I'm gonna agree with Cap on that one. If the only way that you can express yourself is through Twitch memes, you have a problem. So, just trying to finish the BKB. Kind of look like
Dire's
stuff's going
structures
on,
are
so
fortified.
I TP'd back. It's an unfortunate start to the fight.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Got a pretty good ult.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Watch over us.
Had a diffuser so she would die.
I join the omniscience.
I shouldn't have diffused that guy. That was my last diffusal blade. I messed that up pretty bad. And unfortunately, because I'm the slowest guy ever, I actually can't catch up. So, anyways, finished BKB. I think we got a lot of gold from that fight. Oh, I'm sorry, they actually won. Merlini lost a lot of gold and 3 heroes that did nothing. just fed gold, so it's actually a really bad fight for us. We also lost Rack, so overall just not good. BKB's finished at least, but now I've got no more Diffusal Blade charges and want to make a Manta, but to remove things from me, if possible. It's kind of where the game gets hard. I really should have made BKB before I made Yasha. That would have made a big improvement, I think. I also have a DD though. With DD, I should be able to find some solo kills. The only problem is I don't have Diffusal Blade. If I had one Diffusal Blade, I could kill just about any hero.
Purification.
And with that many heroes showing mid, that makes me very uncomfortable to go try for any of those kills. Instead, I will just go one-shot creeps. Time to sell Orb of Venom and get a TP scroll. So, Orb of Venom is pretty actually necessary to have late game, because if I'm using my ultimate, it applies the Orb of Venom slow, which keeps him in the ultimate longer. So I really like having that. We have a Diffusal Blade on Clink, so we're going to go take a fight now. He's going to be doing the anti-Omni Knight stuff in the meantime. And I'm just looking to jump on a squishy here with my BKB as well. It's pretty cool to do. Probably Omni Knight. Maybe this guy as well. I BKB'd here and went in, but my team wasn't really the same. I used that a little early. Should have waited like a second. Luckily the Lina did die. And then I just got one shot by Purification and Avatos. That was pretty fun. Overall, very good fight. Got 4 heroes. Didn't get Omni, lost our tier 3, but defended our racks. That was good. And here's me dead. Microing Chen a little bit. I definitely ultied a little early. My BKB still had like 2 seconds left. And I think I should have told my team that I was going to go in, because then we possibly could have comboed a little. Instead, me going in was basically me popping BKB and running after them and then running away. And as soon as my tricks to the trade ended, I just got comboed with Purification. They did a really good job with that. They really focused me well when I was vulnerable.
Regeneration.
Just using creeps to push. Sent the courier over to buy my Manta style, because I figured I could finish in about 40 gold. Unfortunately, they saw it coming with the ward, and they went and sniped it, so... I used my ultimate because I didn't want to be focused, I think, but I kind of just wasted it. Like I should have just been. Then I got craggy, and I just died. That sucked. I definitely panic ultied there. We got the Lina, but trading me for it's probably not worth it. I guess we're about the same net worth. Really nice stun by the Slaughter. Bounty Hunter also just went and killed the Chen when I wasn't paying attention to it. I'm definitely panicking. Like I died so many times before getting my ulti off that when I feel like it's time for me to ulti, I just press it when it's like 2 seconds too early. And savoring my BKB cooldowns is just so important. I should be a lot more careful about it. So 1 minute I'll get Manta again at least. I'll have that going for me. Bought some observer wards because we had 4 in the shop and we were pretty dark, and I was like, you know what, I should really just put some wards down because this game win comes down to initiations pretty much. Very clear there, Roshi.
Haste. Armor of omniscience.
Your shine has fallen into the ring.
There's no shame in it.
Again, I tried to cast it and it didn't come out in time. I thought I had a bit more time. I don't know if it would have done anything, but messed up my ulti again. This game was literally the game of me messing up my ulti. So that kind of sucked. It looked like a good fight. So we killed the bounty at the start, but bounty wasn't that relevant. His items weren't that amazing, I don't think. He had like Orchid and a Vlad's and a drone for some reason.
Yeah, let's do this.
I probably should have bought back here actually. Kind of feel like. Luckily, Cap is playing an OP hero, so we just kind of won the fight despite losing Rex.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so we got 3 there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Maybe I should have bought back. So now I'm a little bit faster with Manta. You attack a lot faster with Manta too. It's a decent attack speed item. It gives you like 41, I think. And it gives you more agility than SNY does, 26 agility. It's just really necessary to have to remove track, amp damage, stuff like that. I can dodge spells. If I'm on strength treads, I'm quite tanky now, 1700 HP. Now is kind of the point where I feel like I'm survivable. Any other time before this, I just didn't feel that strong about it. Just kind of looking for kills. I was able to get him. Kind of wanted to kill the Lina here.
My fever breaks.
Actually worked out. My ulti there was pretty solid. And then I found Lina, but my teammates killed her, which was good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Crusade continues.
Isn't this fun to watch me micro Chen? But it's looking like things are going well.
Radiant's middle
Heals
tower
were
is
really,
under
really
attack.
nice solutions to both me and the enchant damage. So I thought that was pretty cool. Looks like the enchant lived, and now everybody's just kind of out of mana. Getting range creeps when you're being pushed in like this is generally the best though, makes a big difference. Looks like Ben bottom rapier here.
My just reward.
So range creeps are the best because for pushes like this, because they do the most damage by far. They sit in the back. In some cases, like mega range creeps actually hit really hard. They hit for like 120 piercing damage or something. It's very, very good at pushing creeps. Works great. Sold my Aqua finally. Realized that I probably wasn't gonna have space, and I was better off farming anyways in a lot of cases to get my next item, since I'm very close. I think we're almost out of diffusal blade charges at this point as well, so Ben asked for more diffusal blades, so I decided to buy a second one. And you might be kind of confused why I did that. It's actually not terrible though. The feedback doesn't stack, so if I have 2 diffusal blades and I hit somebody, I don't burn for 50 mana instead of 25 mana. The good part is that I still get the 25 agility from the Diffusal 1, and I still get the 10 int. So I still get the stats, and the stats are very good on Riki, because again, I'm getting extra value from an agility item. So it's not like I'm just buying it and getting 25 agility for 25 damage. I'm actually getting like 60 damage for it, something like that, for a 3000 gold item, and I'm getting the Diffusal Blade charges. So I don't, against an Omni, or a game like this where I really need Diffusal Blade charges, I don't think it's ridiculous to get multiple Diffusal Blades, especially because the game's so close. Getting a little bit extra stuff is not going to be horrible. So I buy out, Diffusal Blade here, Clinks finds a kill on the Lina, so lets us push across the map. That was kind of nice. And now we're trying to get advantage here, since he got that kill. Got a really good smoke flood there. Still haven't BKB'd here, but I haven't really felt it. I'm gonna have to do it here though, because I'm gonna get ultied by... I thought I would get stunned by Lina. Used my Diffusal Blade, but unfortunately got caught. I should Manta to remove the... That's right, Lena's dead. I really shouldn't have BKB'd after the Yules. It felt like a Lina setup to me, and I didn't look at the heroes. Maybe could have been. It couldn't have been Tiny because we killed Tiny, so... Slaughter, maybe, but I don't know if that was a good idea. But I advocated for pushing here, and since I'm invis, and they might not have sentries, I wanted to go stand over here to spot out enemies. But I have to be very careful here. I have an ultimate, and that's pretty much one of the only survivabilities that I have.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
And I'm dead. So I pushed too hard there. I shouldn't be diving. I shouldn't even be pressuring too much. Maybe I should Manta or something and attack with one of my illusions. I don't know if the illusions go in invis or not. Not sure. But that was definitely the wrong move. With Lina there, she just ults me and I die if I'm focused at all. Got another Diffusal Blade out of Nyx.
Dire's courier has been killed.
We lost our courier again, unfortunately. But evening up the Raxes felt a lot better. And then I bought more wards to put on the Chen here. So that way we'd have somebody that had space for wards rather than just me. Because everybody is very full on items at this stage.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Up there. Should have put that farther back, I think. Ooh, I want to use that. That was really bad. Like nothing. Alright, well, we got that guy at least. Luckily, he blinked to the high ground. This would be a good time to re-engage. Times like these where you're trying to heal faster, buying a salve helps a lot. I told them to chase because I was full HP still. But it's kind of the issue where bounty is really slow. I probably should have started by blinking to either Cap or the Clinks. Because I just can't keep up. My movement speed is so slow. I'm only 365 with a Manta, you know. Maybe if I had an S and Y it would be more competitive, but... He could only see the enchant, so he didn't know about the Clinks. Beginning that kill's pretty big. Bit of a bad BKB there for Ben, but...
I'm not resting till there's nothing
So
left
Lina
to burn.
buyback. Remove the vision with ulti was pretty lackluster here.
Unstoppable. Monster kill.
What weird fight, man. I just like kept removing the tracks and stuff. That one was kind of fun. He stunned because he saw me from the ward, but then they killed the ward. Made a small mistake here. We were healing a catapult a lot instead of just me, so I actually didn't get that much heal from this. But there's 2 dead heroes, so this is like our best chance to go high ground. So kind of just have to go with the chin heal helps. Oh, I used 2. I think multiple people used diffusal blades there.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Again, Manta to remove detection. We all called for back, so we all super ran there. Pretty good fight. I think I'm clearly having some slow problems. I'm not really slowing anybody. I'm using diffusal blades at kind of bad moments. That's my second diffusal blade too, which again gives me more agility here. My armor's really high. That part's pretty nice too. Next item that I would buy would probably be a butterfly. Wouldn't be terrible. Basher wouldn't be bad either. Could stun people. We found the enemy team that looked like a smoke. That was with Chen. Accidentally diffused myself there. Bounty's not the best hero to kill, but it's not terrible. Molt actually works really good there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
To worry about Omni Knight and that's it. And that basically is the end of the game.
Radiant's middle tower has
So
fallen.
really, really hard game. I think it would have been pretty straightforward if we had 5 people, but playing with 4 versus 5 was pretty tough. Just having Chen in the fight meant people could get sent back, like a lot of things like that. But this is pretty high level game. This is like a 4.7k stack versus a 5k stack. Not that we're 5k, but our party MMR is 5k, so who knows what it actually was supposed to be. But definitely a very hard game. They had a ton of Riki counters. The C and Vis stuff was a little hard to deal with, but just takes diffusal blades, and this isn't the first time I've seen a game where you just have like buttloads of diffusal blades. You just need it against an Omni Knight. They only lost 5 points there because we had way more MMR than they did. And the Chen, of course, did abandon. So technically 5 MMR was taken out of the system in this game due to the abandon, but us winning. So it was a pretty fun game. I think Riki's alright. He's very, very good at snowballing against bad players, but if you're remotely good or you pick burst damage heroes, then I think he's easier to deal with. He's not easy to deal with necessarily, but I think it was clear to see that sometimes I just died instantly, and maybe it was my item build, maybe it was the heroes I was against. If it was a more standard game and I didn't have to go Manta after Diffusal Blade, then I would have been in a better place, and I could have just gone straight for like S&Y. S&Y Diffusal Blade would have been a lot better, but I just kind of died.
User was moved to your channel.
That's my bad. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later.
User was moved
Bye.
out of your channel.